Welcome to Module 4, Lesson 17. Today we're going to be relating decimals and fractions. So I have this problem up here, 6/10 times 1 7/10. And I want to recognize that I can write 6/10 as a decimal like this. And I can write 1 7/10 as a mixed number like this. Doesn't really matter. Just a different way to express the same thing. I'm going to begin by expressing 1 7/10. And when I do 1 7/10, I'm actually going to work across here. So here is my 1. And then I just need 7 more tenths. There's 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4, 5, 6, 7 tenths. So if I, going across in this direction, I have my 1 7/10. Now of that 1 7/10 that I have, this quantity here, I want to take 6/10 of it. So conveniently, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows. I want 6 out of those 10 rows to give me 6/10. Well, here's 6/10, and I'm going to shade that in, just like so. So this is my 6/10 of it. Now each one of these squares is 100th, because there's 100 of them in a whole. So I have 6 rows of 10 over here. So this is going to be 60 hundredths. And then over here I have 6 rows of 7, which is 42. So I have 42 hundredths over here, and 60 plus 42 is 102 hundredths, or 1 2 hundredths, or 1 2 hundredths. And that's my answer. Now the only other thing they wanted you to see in this lesson is that I could change decimals to fractions and get a similar or the same answer as I would if I just multiplied the decimals. So here I have a 1 2/10 times 4/10. I can change that to, I'm just changing my pen, I can change that to a fraction. I have 1 2/10 times 4/10. And using the distributive property, I can do 4/10 times 1 plus 4/10 times 2/10. So if I do that, 1 times 4/10 is just 4/10, and 2/10 times 4/10 is 2 times 4 is 8 hundredths. Well, 4/10 is the same as 40 hundredths. I can multiply top and bottom by 10. And of course I have my 8 hundredths. And if I add those up, I get 48 hundredths. Now the old way we did it, way back when, was we just did 1 2/10 times 4/10. And 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 times 1 is 4. And I have, my answer is 100 times too big, because I actually just did 12 times 4. And 12 is 10 times bigger than 1 2/10, and 4 is 10 times bigger than 4/10. So my answer is 100 times too big, so I have to make it smaller, 10 times smaller, 100 times smaller. I get 48 hundredths, and 48 hundredths is the same as 48 hundredths. And that's the end of today's lesson.